Hey, what's up, everybody? This is E at E's Workout Channel. And today, I hope everybody's blessed, having a productive day. Those of y'all on y'all quest of enlightenment, I hope y'all are well on your way. That's where I'm at. And today, I want to talk about a theory I heard on YouTube, and it was from a guy named Young Pharaoh. And I'm gonna tell you, man, that guy is very impressive, a very knowledgeable dude. I watched a lot of his videos. His videos are like 2 hours long, and I watched quite a few of them, and I'm very impressed with him. But he did say one thing that I took issue with. One of his theories is that black people come from extraterrestrials, and that we have extraterrestrial DNA. Now, I guess I can start there. That's what this video is going to be about. My thoughts on whether or not black people are extraterrestrials. And, I'm going to add a few other thoughts on where I believe, we may come from. Now, full disclaimer, I don't give a shit what nobody tells you. Nobody knows where we come from. And I don't give a, what they say. Everybody, like anybody can put a theory out there, and the theory may sound good up to a point, but eventually it's going to fall flat because nobody knows. There's new information coming out even today that adds a little bit more light and more and more. And I'm sure there are a lot of pieces we still don't even have any clue about. But the first thing I want to start off with is this whole alien thing. And let me first say that I don't believe in religion, which, as a result of me not believing in religion, I don't believe in religion's concept of God. And the only concept we have of God is what we have through religion. I believe, many of us are brainwashed at a very early age with these concepts, and these concepts cloud our thinking and make it hard to, reach a state of enlightenment, of true knowledge, wisdom, because we're constantly having to fight these false, all this false information, all this false, these false things we're putting in our heads, from children. And it's hard to fight that. It takes a, special person to fight that brainwashing. I believe I am that type of person. And so basically, what I'm really trying to say here is the things I tell you in my videos, the thoughts I give you are all my original thoughts. I don't get my thoughts from what I read, from what I listen to, from what I watch. Everything I say is my own point of view. And I'm going to do my best to give you knowledge that's real, facts that you really can use, facts that make a difference, things that nobody else is saying. And I'm not trying to be different from everybody else for the sake of being different. I just feel that I have the ability to think things through, unlike most people. Everybody has their talents. Some people are gifted singers, gifted artists, can fix cars, can do rocket science. And some of us are just complex thinkers. And I feel like I'm the type who can see a really big situation and see that whole situation and where it leads. And I know a lot of people don't have that ability. So the things I tell you, I'm only going to tell you things that I feel adds something important to the conversation. So let's get started with the video, and let me first talk about aliens and extraterrestrials. Now, if you know anything about the universe, about galaxies, about stars, about planets, about solar systems, black holes, all of these different things that exist within the universe, you'll know it's really hard to believe in alien life. I'll say that if it exists, it's not going to be very many places. And I'm going to explain that in just a second. We may very well be an anomaly ourselves on this planet. We may not, we're supposed to even exist. And I'll explain that also. But in terms of alien life, let me first say that one lesson when it comes to the universe and galaxies and solar systems is that life is going to be conducive to the planet, meaning, or the conditions of the planet, meaning that if life forms on a planet, the temperature, the gravity, the distance from the sun, the atmosphere, there are a lot of things that will determine what kind of life can take shape on a planet. A lot of people believe whether or not that planet has liquid H2O, which not very many planets seem to have. Not liquid H2O not pure H2O like we have. So that right there kind of gets away from the fact that any human on this planet can come from another planet, because that planet will have to have the same conditions as Earth. And we haven't found any planet that has the same conditions of Earth. Not one. Not one planet. Now, we found some that are very similar, but all it takes is one little small difference in the temperature, the gravity, the atmosphere, anything to totally change the type of life on this planet. Now, we know there are some life forms on this planet that can live under very unstable conditions. I forgot the name of those little microscopic things, but they can live in like stupid high temperatures, cold temperatures without oxygen, I forgot what the heck them things are, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I know there's, certain life forms that could probably exist in all kind of extreme conditions on other planets. And that includes things like fungus. They said there's fungus growing on a space station. So evidently, fungus doesn't need oxygen or anything either. But most life, the majority of life is going to be conducive to the conditions of the planet. So if you look in our own solar system, where did life come from? Mars? Did life come from Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn? Where did the life come from? If it's extraterrestrial, because that's what extraterrestrial or alien means it comes from a source or place other than Earth. So if aliens have visited this planet, where did they visit from? Did they come from the next star? People seem to forget that our sun is actually a star, one star amongst billions, maybe trillions in the universe. So if we go to the next star system, are there any planets in that system that revolves around that star that will be conducive to the conditions of Earth? And then, at that point, you also got to factor in how would they be able to travel? If we found any alien spaceships at any point, if we recovered any, how are they traveling on meteors? Maybe that's what it is. When the meteors crash, on our planet, there's alien life maybe inside. Maybe that's how travel is done in the universe. I'm not sure. But the whole point I'm trying to make to you is that a lot of this alien crap is just what it is, crap. There is no way for aliens to get here. There's no way if aliens did make it here, they wouldn't even be able to survive. And I mean aliens that would even be able to interact with us. That would be intelligent enough to decipher language and things like that. So when you really, really think about it, I'm positive 99.9 that aliens are not visiting this planet. Like I said, where are they visiting from? What are their means of getting here? How are they interacting? What's the point of coming here? How are they coming here, and how would our atmosphere not destroy them? It's just a lot of factors that go into aliens and life on planets. Now, this is something else a lot of people don't factor in, and I'll say it because that's what I said. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you the things that nobody else don't really talk about. And the one thing about our planet that the reason we can even live on it, aside from having to drink water, eat food, being part of a food chain, the temperature, the one thing is our atmosphere. And if this planet did not have the atmosphere that it has, the sun will wipe out every living thing on this planet. And if you look at the other planets in the solar, and this solar system, now keep in mind, like I said, there are billions, possibly trillions of other stars out there, which would mean they would have their own systems like this one. Is that the only other planet in our solar system that may have an atmosphere that could protect it from the sun's daily rays like ours would be Venus. Because Venus has a very thick atmosphere that could possibly also protect, it from those daily rays from the sun. And the only thing with Venus is because of the way its atmosphere is, it actually holds in the sunlight and makes the surface temperature like ridiculously hot. I think Venus has the hottest surface temperature of any planet in the solar system. So yeah, and without the atmosphere that we have, the sun would fry everything with the gamma rays and the other rays that come off of it. And that's the thing I would think in most cases, unless there's a planet with a atmosphere that'll protect it from the star that it orbits, the star will fry the planet. It might not fry the planet itself, but it will make it the way no living thing could exist on the planet. And so that's something to think about. If our atmosphere was just a little bit different, we wouldn't even be here. So that kind of, that's a theory for me believing that we may be an anomaly. We may just be like parasitic to the Earth. Like the real life in the universe may be the stars, the planets, I don't know if these black holes are travel points, what they are, all of the asteroids and everything else floating around in the universe, the dark matter, And the other thing that may make me think that we may be an anomaly is our short lifespans. We have very, very short lifespans, especially compared to, when you look at how long the sun's been around, how long the earth's been around, how long other things, time in the universe is like we're like not even a drop. We're like 1/100th of a drop in the bucket or 1/100th of a drop in the ocean in terms of our lifespans. Now, that could also be because of, I believe in nature, so I believe in balance. That could be because we breed so frequently that our lifespans would be short. Like say if people only had children once every 10 years, then we might live a lot longer. But because we have children so frequently, I believe nature has determined, our lifespans are just not going to be that long because we propagate ourselves through breeding pretty much. But anyway, getting back to where we come from. So I think I pretty effectively stated why no human on this planet is alien. In fact, let me go on to say, now, there could be life on this planet that we don't understand, that we're not familiar with, that may have stayed hidden from us. That may be significantly more intelligent than us, but that life would exist on this planet. That maybe it's life way underground that we don't know about, life in the oceans that we don't know about, intelligent life. But any alien life would be alien life that would come from this planet itself. There's no way for life to come from another planet. It's just, I could go even deeper into detail, but I think I've made the point. So that asks the question, where do we all come from? And let me say, as I stated before, nobody knows where we come from. And it's crazy that we can travel, to the moon, travel all throughout, the solar system, send satellite. We can do all of these amazing things, but nobody can figure out our origins or where we come from. To me, that's just, that's crazy. It's ridiculous. We have no idea where we come from. Not even counting, if we came from these other species of human, like the Neanderthals or the Denisovans or the Homo erectus or the other Homo species. We don't even know where we come from as in Homo sapiens, as in modern humans, which is just crazy to me. But I'm going to tell you one other reason why none of us are alien. That includes blacks and that includes whites and Asians. But one thing everybody seems to forget is that every human has a tailbone. Every human has a tailbone, which honestly, in my opinion, cuts out creation. Because if we were created by God, I don't see why God would have made us with a tailbone. That also cuts out the fact that any of us are aliens, because why would aliens have tailbones? Just like the other humans that live here. So to me, because of the fact that humans have tailbones, I'm going to assume that we have something in common with something else that had a tail. Which kind of leads us back to more than likely being evolution as to how we came about. Now, because they have other humans that existed before us, or that have lived here longer than modern humans, and we don't even know how many species of human, have even died out or were breeded out. Without knowing the origins of these people, it's almost going to be impossible to know our own origins, assuming, we evolved from them or we evolved alongside them. It's just really hard to say. We just really don't know. If, but what is interesting is, I honestly, part of me thinks we have an ancestor in common with the apes. And there's some type of ape in Ethiopia. They have a fossil of it. It's called Lucy. And it's pretty intact. A pretty well kept fossil. I think it's like 2 million years old. It's old. Definitely over 1 million years old. And this was an ape that looked like it would be in between a human and a ape, like a chimp or a gorilla, orangutan. It looked like it would be in between us and them. Now, I want to say something else while I'm thinking about it. I've heard a lot of people say that white people come from chimps. And I have seen some very hairy white people. Hairy like, I don't know. I don't really think any other race of people really gets hurt. No, I take that back. I have seen other races hairy, but it just seems to be more prevalent with white people. That seems to be a trait that comes from them. I do believe there are 3 distinct races, and everybody else falls in between those races. And I believe those 3 races all have distinct characteristics. I hadn't even thought about the hairy bodies, but I know the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the red hair, the big lips, the knotty hair, the slanted eyes. Those are all distinct characteristics of the 3 races, which I believe to be Asian, white, and black. I believe everybody else falls in between those 3 races. And even with that, like I said, I'm not even sure, and that's modern humans. I'm not sure how we even got to the point of having those 3 primary races, to be honest. It's just, like I said, I don't know, it's just so many possibilities. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to add possibilities. Like, one possibility is maybe that the Neanderthals and the Denisovans, as they had children, their children may have turned out to be Homo sapien. And I'm going to assume that the people who lived, hundreds of thousands of years ago were tribal, meaning they didn't travel very far. They didn't have, the means to travel, through the oceans or through the air or even very far through land. So a lot of them were tribal. So as some of these peoples, and I'm going to assume it was the Neanderthals, I know they tried to make it seem like the Neanderthals were ignorant or stupid or dumb, but no, that's not the case. And I always knew this to be the case, but they've actually confirmed it recently that the Neanderthals were just as smart as us. So if they actually started learning how to travel by ocean and they were able to visit some of these areas where these other humans lived, and they conquered them or breeded with them or whatever, raped them, whatever, And as they had children, eventually the new children would become the breed as the older breed of human would die out. You know, like say if that happened with Neanderthals and Denisovans, eventually the Neanderthals and the Denisovans would die out and what will be left would be the, Homo sapien. And that's just a theory. I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't know. But one thing I will say, I'm going to tell y'all an interesting fact that I'm probably going to go ahead and say goodnight to you guys, is that humans can breed with each other. And regardless of the type of human, they can breed and have offspring that will have children. Which means that we are all humans, even if we're different in some respects, we're all still very, very close on a genetic level. Very close. Close enough to have children that can have children. You have to be within a species to do that, which means that even if humans are different, within a species, we're all still the same species of living thing. All humans. All humans. I don't care what color or ethnicity you are. We're all part of the same species. And I'm going to tell you something that a lot of you may not know. I had to look this up myself because I was curious as it related to humans. But I looked up whether or not apes can interbreed with each other, like gorillas, chimps, orangutans, bonobos. And what I found is that apes can't interbreed with each other. Well, the chimps and the bonobos can because they're pretty much the same animal anyway. But a chimp can't breed with a gorilla can't breed with an orangutan, and the chimp can't breed with an orangutan. They can't breed. Their species isn't close enough to even have children that will be sterile, like you might see with the lion and the tiger. They can produce children, but they'll be sterile, or like a horse and a donkey. So humans are close enough in a species to not only have children, but to have children that have children, and children that are a lot of times are pretty good looking on top of everything else. So, I know every race wants to believe that they're the superior ones and they don't share the same animalistic characteristics as everybody else. Nah, because we have tailbones, we're animals. We may be very, very smart, highly intelligent animals, but the fact that we have a tailbone means that we're animals too. We have to eat living things just like the animals do. We don't survive strictly on sunlight. We have to eat food and drink water, and keep a certain temperature just like the animals. We breed, we procreate just like the animals. So, I just wanted to add like a few things to think about to the discussion. I don't know where we come from. It's all speculation on my part, as it is for everybody who does these types of videos. Nobody knows for sure. And anybody who puts out a theory as gospel is bullshit, and it will fall short somewhere. It will fall flat somewhere. It will fall apart somewhere. Like I said, that's why I'm not presenting my theories as gospel. I'm just giving the ideas and the thoughts, and you can add them, incorporate them into your own thoughts as you see fit. So anyway, just to cap the video off, the repeat or the recap. Yeah, we don't come from aliens. Black people don't come from aliens. White people don't come from aliens. Chinese people don't come from aliens. Now, I do want to say something that I find interesting, and this is in relations to white people. And let me say, on my channel, I talk about whatever I want to talk about. Let me assure you, I'm not prejudiced. I'm not racist. I'm not bigoted. I'm not sexist. I don't believe in any of those isms. I believe those isms are negative energy, and I believe negative energy is bad for your mind, body, and spirit. I don't believe in souls. I believe everything comes through our brain. Everything that makes us up exists right up here. We don't, I do believe, because we have electrical charges going through our body, it does present a sort of biochemical field around us. I get all of that. But in terms of souls and all of that stuff, I don't believe in magic or any of that. Like I said, I don't even believe in God or the devil. You'll hear a lot of people, say they don't believe in God, but then they talk a lot about the devil. And if you don't believe in one, I don't see how you can believe in the other, to be honest. In terms of devils and demons, I think humans have proven to be the most evil creatures that have ever lived on this planet. I don't believe demons would have anything on us in terms of evilness. I believe we are much worse than any demons could ever be, based on what I've read about demons in the Bible. But I might even do a video about that one day. But anyway, we didn't come from aliens. We have tailbones, which means that we are animals ourselves. We are closely related. All humans are closely related enough within the species to have children that have children. So we are definitely genetically close. All humans within the same species. That's really all the info I can give at this point. Is I figure out more things. Like I said, as we learn more about these other humans that existed, from what they're saying, and I take this with a grain of salt. They're saying that whites have Neanderthal DNA. Actually, they're saying we all have some Neanderthal DNA, but they're saying Asians like Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, they have Homo erectus DNA. The Pacific Asians, the Australians, have Denisovan DNA. And I'm not even sure what they're saying. Black people or Africans, some type of other homogeneous, supposedly we have their DNA. But everybody appears to have some part of everybody has Neanderthal DNA, which, honestly, once again, either the Neanderthal conquered every race of humans on the planet and had sex with them, or we evolved somehow, some way from the Neanderthals. Like I said, you gotta look at stuff for what it is. That's my whole thing. I look at things exactly for what they are, and I'm able to draw certain logical conclusions, from what I analyze and what I read and look at. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Everybody, peace.